Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to continue where I left off on the previous episode. In the previous episode, I talked about how evil people are very, very deceptive. In fact, the more deceptive you are, the more evil you are, the more deceptive you are. The more you fake things, the more you pretend to be a happy person, the more you pretend to be a kind person when you're not. And kind people do not pretend to be kind. Kind people do not pretend to be perfect. They do not try to be perfect. They do not compete with others. They do not try to be the best. Why? Because they're content with who they are. They're happy. They love themselves and they love the people around them. When you love the people around you, when you care about the people around you, you don't try to be better than them. You don't try to be more special than they are. You treat yourself and everyone around you as equals. And if you guys are equals, do you need to be the best? Do you need to be perfect? No. So the mindset, it's a mindset problem. People who are good usually have the mindset of treating everyone as equals. And people who see others as equals will never want to compete with others. They don't compete because what's the point of competing? To prove that you're better than everyone else? What's the point? What do you gain by proving you're better than the others? Nothing. The only thing you gain is pride. When you prove that you're better than everyone else, you're proving that, the other people around you are worthless. And that's the mindset of an evil person. The mindset of an evil person is one who treats everyone as trash, who always wants to be better than everyone else, who always wants others to feel worthless, to feel like, scum. That way they appear perfect and holy in front of others. That's the mindset of an evil person. Good people do not compete against others. They don't appear perfect. They don't chase pride. They don't chase fame. When they become famous, it's not through effort to become famous. They become famous just because of their good deeds. They do good deeds and people, make them famous from it. As opposed to evil people who chase after fame itself. A good person, right, would do good deeds and inadvertently become famous. An evil person would chase after fame, and because all they care about is fame, they'll do all sorts of evil acts. They'll betray anyone and everyone around them just for fame. That's the difference between people. This is why I tell you not all famous people are evil. Because some famous people are famous not because they chase after fame, but they only became famous because they're good people. They did good deeds, they helped others, and the people they helped, showed their good deeds to others, and they became famous from that. Like a person who creates movies, right? Someone created a great movie, right? And then it just blew up on social media. It's not his fault that he became famous. He wasn't chasing after fame. He wanted to create a good movie for everyone to watch. He wanted people to enjoy his movie. So he created a good movie and everyone watched it, right? Then he became famous from it. Or created a great book, or created great, music. Or he did this, he did that, There's many ways, people reward you with fame. But the people who get famous from that, you can tell them apart. Because the things they do are always good. The movies they make are always great. The books they write are always, the best. The music they play, the creator always very good. The ones who just chase after fame just for fame itself. These are the evil ones. The most people who just chase after fame just for fame alone are usually the evil ones because they'll do anything for fame. They want to become famous because everyone else, they're so jealous of the people who are famous. They'll do anything for fame. They want to be just like them. They want to be the best. They want to be better than everyone. Well, that mindset isn't the mindset of a kind person. Because when you see everyone else around you as trash, it's hard to treat them well. When you see yourself as better than everyone, it's hard to treat people when you think you're better than them, isn't it? It's very hard to see people, to treat people well when you look down on them. When you see someone as trash, it's hard to be kind to someone you see as trash. The very mindset of thinking you're better than others makes you less than others. Why? Because you start treating everyone badly because you think you're better than them. When you think you're better than people around you, you start to treat them badly. You start to become crueler to the people around you. You start to become eviler to the people around you. Pride is a sin for a reason. Pride is a very great sin because it warps you into thinking you're better than everyone around you. Everyone is equal, but you're more equal than others. That's your mindset. If you have that mindset, it's only a matter of time before all the people you think you're better than run away from you. Because no one likes to be around someone who treats them badly. No one likes to be around people who look down on them, who treats them like trash, who sees them as nothing more than trash. It's very hard to hang around evil people for that reason. They always love to look down on you. They always love to treat you like garbage. They always love to remind you how worthless you are and how great they are. How perfect and great they are and how useless and worthless you are. This is why they're evil. When a good person does something and he becomes famous from it, you can tell that the only reason he became famous was because he did something good. When an evil person does something and becomes famous, you know for a fact it's only because, he's only chasing after fame. People who only chase after fame when they create music, the music sucks. People who only chase after fame when they create books, the books suck. When they create movies, the movies suck. Whatever they do sucks. But somehow they still become famous. Why? Because if they've used, they've twisted their world. They've gone the route of infamy. They've found ways, they've bribed people, they've tricked others, they've dated celebrities they didn't like and broke up with them the moment they found someone else. They found different ways to get famous. They didn't get famous off their talent. They got famous, through the back door, through schemes and lies. That's how they got famous. And, you can easily tell apart the famous ones, the ones who got famous doing good deeds versus the ones who got famous being scammers, being manipulative and deceptive people. They're rarely ever good at anything. Because instead of spending time perfecting their craft, they're spending time looking for ways to become famous. Someone who writes books, right? Instead of spending time writing a book, they're spending time looking for how to get famous. Instead of spending time making sure the book, it's a perfect book that, people will like. Who cares about the book? They're only using the book because they think, writing a book could get them famous. Writing a book could make them famous. Since writing a book would make them famous, might as well write a book. They don't really care about writing a book. They're just using it to make themselves famous. When they realize it doesn't work, they'll jump to something else. When they realize it doesn't work, doesn't work either, they'll jump to something else. They're rarely ever good at anything, but they always pretend they're the best. Good people do not compete because there's no point. A person is good because he thinks you're his equal. He'll never look down on you. He'll never treat you like garbage. That's why he's a good person. Because he'll always treat you like his equal. He'll never try to compete with you because there's no point. You're equals. If you're equals, what's the point of competing with you? What do I gain? What do I lose? Mindset determines whether someone is good or not. People who chase after fame for fame's sake are usually not that good, aren't really that good of a person. They aren't really they aren't really good people. People who try to, better themselves and better the world. People who try to change the world. People who try to make others happier. These are the good people. People who spend their time creating a book, right? Because they want people to enjoy the book. They want people to love the book. They want to bring, the characters to life. These are the good ones. The people who just create books just because they want to be famous from books, they've checked the statistic and they realize, there's a lot of famous actors out there. I mean, there are a lot of famous book writers out there. So it's so easy to become famous from a book writer. So it's so they start writing books because hey, it's a shortcut to becoming it's a shortcut to fame. So they start writing random bad books because hey, they can become famous. And some of them become famous because they have a lot of money. If they have a lot of money, they can just write a bad book, right? Take just a few hours, write a bad book. Who cares? And then pay a lot of ads. Post it on social media, post it on wherever. Pay a lot of ads, and drive a lot of customers to their doorstep. And now they have a bunch of angry customers that don't like them. But hey, at least they're famous now, right? At least they're famous. So there are a lot. There are people from all walks of life in this world. Some people are very rich, some people are poor. The ones who are poor, who chase after fame, these are the ones you feel sorry for the most, because they will never try hard at anything. They will never be good at anything because they're too busy chasing after fame to actually be good at it. They chase after fame instead of chase after changing the lives of others. Instead of bringing good to the world, instead of trying to make sure what they're doing is actually pretty great, that way people can enjoy it. They don't care about people. They only care about fame. So whatever they do is always bad. But since they don't have money to pay for ads, to force themselves into fame, when the customers ever gets drawn to their doorstep and find out whatever they're creating sucks, they'll run away. And these are the ones that get desperate and try to harm others. They'll try to find other ways to become famous. When they realize that they suck at whatever they're doing, and no one wants to be around them, that's when they start they start looking for other ways to become famous, like I talked about in the previous podcast episode. This is why I tell you to be careful of people who chase after fame. People who chase after fame rarely bring anything to the table. They rarely have any real talent. They're so busy chasing after fame, they're not they don't spend time perfecting anything. They don't have any sort of talent whatsoever. But many of them get famous anyway because they have a lot of money. They can force their way into fame with money. But just because you force your way into fame with money does not mean you're getting fame. You're getting infamy instead. If there's no reason for people to like you, yet you're famous, you're no longer famous. You're infamous. If there's no reason for people to like you, and they still know you, they will hate you instead. What was the point of you? Why are you in their lives? Why are they watching your videos on your ads on their social media platform when there's nothing there that drives them to your doorstep? You bring nothing to the table, yet you're famous. What's the point? So people who chase fame just for fame's sake alone are usually the bad apples in the world of celebrities, because they're the talentless talents. They're the talentless talents who always just ruin everything. Because people don't know why they're famous, but they're famous anyways. And it just makes people wonder, are all the famous people useless? Because of them, because of the bad apples, right? All celebrities get treated the same, like trash. Because of the bad apples that got in there, using schemes and lies, and became famous using schemes and deception, right? All the good celebrities get lumped in with them. When you see one bad celebrity that has a bad reputation, especially someone who doesn't know celebrities that much, who's never been introduced to the world of celebrities, when the first celebrity they meet is a bad apple, right? Someone like Jeffrey Epstein, or someone like some serial killer, someone who ended up killing his children and wives, right? If they end up meeting these bad apples first, they'll start to think that all celebrities are just like them. They're all bad apples. This is why I don't want to lump all celebrities together, because not all celebrities are the same. Some people actually earn their fame. Some celebrities have earned their fame. Because they have earned their fame, it's hard for me to lump them in with the ones that are the sinister ones that only got famous using deception and lies. Only got famous using lies and trickery. They bring nothing to the table except lies, manipulation, and bullying. They bully people into fame. They bully, some of them get married to, they'll trick a celebrity into a relationship and then bully them until, the celebrity forces them to become famous. They'll date a celebrity, right? And then start bullying the celebrity, to force, to make them famous, more famous than already are. To become a parasite in the relationship. They jump into the lap of a celebrity and become a parasite. They drain all the money from the celebrity's wallet, force the celebrity to, to introduce them to all their friends and family members, right? And all their fan base, and then slowly drain all the money from the celebrity's pocket. And after they've used the celebrity completely, drain him to death until the celebrity feels like committing suicide, they jump into the next lap. They jump into another celebrity's lap. They jump from relationship to relationship, draining one celebrity from, to another. Just go from relationship to relationship, stealing from celebrities. There are people like that. Some of them are men, some of them are women. You see them all the time, jumping from celebrity to celebrity, jumping from relationship to relationship. Yet, they're famous, but you don't know why they're famous. They've done nothing to earn their fame. You see them in movies. They act badly in the movies. They don't even know what they're doing there. They release, if they're musicians, they release songs. They release songs once a year, and everything sucks. You don't understand why they're making music to begin with. Whatever they do sucks, but they're still famous, all because they keep dating these famous celebrities. They keep hopping from celebrity to celebrity, draining their bank accounts, draining their lives, draining their health before they jump to the next relationship, like parasites. There are people like that in this world, and they're just as famous as every other celebrity. They're just as famous as every other celebrity, so you can't really tell them apart. You think all celebrities are the same. They're not. Some celebrities got in through the back door. They didn't work. They didn't go through. They didn't become a celebrity doing good deeds. They became celebrities, scamming others, tricking other celebrities into making them famous, manipulating the world of celebrities into making them famous. And this world is filled with a lot of gullible people. People are gullible, whether they're celebrities or not. Some celebrities are only like 17, 18 years old. They're very young. They have no idea how the world works. So they're perfect praise for these parasitical people. They're perfect praise for these evil people that can just jump into their laps and start manipulating them, start deceiving them, start stealing from them, start draining them of everything they have before they jump into the next relationship. This happens all the time. But this is how this world works. The world of celebrities is like, the world of celebrities is like, a very enticing meal. Because it's very enticing. It draws all sorts of people to it. All sorts of people, including a bunch of evil people as well. Too many people are drawn to the world of celebrities. Too many people are drawn to the world of fame. It means there are far too many evil people there than you can possibly imagine. You think every famous person is a kind person, but they're not. Some of them are very, very cruel. Some of them are very, very cruel and deceiving. And the crueler and eviler someone is, the more deceptive and manipulative they are. And this is why you need to be careful. The world of celebrities isn't a world of beds and roses. It's in a world of heaven. It's not a heavenly place. There are slices of heaven there. But if you think just going, mingling with celebrities will automatically make you happy, you're wrong. Not every celebrity is a nice person. Not every celebrity is a good person. Not every celebrity is kind. And not every celebrity cares about the human race in any way, shape, or form. Some of these people are evil. Very, very evil. And you don't know which is which. It's hard to tell which is which because their fan bases always behave like if they care about them. Many of the fakest celebrities, the more fake a celebrity is, the more they love hiring companies They hire companies, these fake celebrity companies, to boost their statistics. If they have a social media account, right? They'll hire these fake, they'll hire companies, right, to give them reviews on every video they have, to leave comments on every video they have. It's a known practice. Deceptive, these evil celebrities would do anything to maintain their public image, including buying fake reviews, fake comments, and fake likes. They do it all the time, and they always get caught. They're always getting caught, and they still do it all the time. They'll pretend people love them when nobody loves them. They'll buy fake comments on their videos, right? So you think when you go to their comment section, you see them always getting likes and always getting approvals from the fan base, without realizing this is a fake fan base. These aren't real people. It's so easy to be deceived by these deceptive people because all they do is lie. The more evil someone is, the more they lie, the more they deceive you. The more they like to, fake their views, fake their interactions, fake everything. Some celebrities even hire fake fans and fake paparazzis to follow them around just so that they'll appear famous and popular. They're known to do that. So if you see these celebrities online, being followed by a group of people, many of these people have been paid to follow them. They've been paid to follow these celebrities around to make them appear more popular than they actually are. They do it often. The real famous ones, the ones who got in doing good deeds, will always have a fan base. Even when the world turns on them, they'll still have a fan base who will always cherish what they do. Because they got in doing good deeds. They got in because they cared about their fans. They cared about the people around them. Because they cared about their fans. They cared about the people around them. The people would never betray them. This is why the road to heaven is always the best road to go. The closer you walk to heaven, the more you have real friends. Because the more you care about others, the more others will care about you. The better you treat others, the better others will treat you. The more you trust others, the more others will trust you. The less you deceive others, the less others will deceive you. But it's hard to go towards the path to heaven. It's easier to go towards the path of hell. It's easier to go towards the roads of hell because it's easier to deceive others than it is to be an honest person. When the things don't work out for you exactly the way you want, it's easy to just become a criminal. You just say, I give up. I'm not making money, so let me just become a thief. I'm not making money. Let me just date, this rich guy that I don't like and pretend I like him. Let me date this rich girl that I don't like and pretend I like him. Their family's made of money, right? Their family has money. Even though I don't like this woman, who cares? The family's rich. I like rich people, So you date someone you don't like, pretending you like them, then you divorce a few days later, or a few months later when you get tired of pretending you like them. When you get tired of pretending like them, that's when you break up. But this is how life is, It's so easy to be a deceptive person because many people are short-sighted. They believe the easy path is always the best path, but it's not. The easy path always has a short ending because nobody wants to stay in hell. No one likes to live in misery. That's why it's called misery. It makes you suffer. And nobody likes to suffer for long before they give up. Before they give up on themselves, before they give up on their lives and look for answers. Look for a better option, This is why I say stay away from, stop thinking that people are happy just because they're pure happy. It's easier to pretend to be happy than to actually be happy. It's easier, My entire life I've seen celebrities, right? Get into relationships, right? Every time a celebrity gets into a relationship, the fan base always says, oh no, these guys, these guys are perfect couples. They're the most perfect couple in the world. They're the best of the best, They must be living a happy life, right? They're living a happier life than me. They're not. So, celebrities always love pretending to be happier than they really are. They're not. This is just how fake this world is. The world of celebrities is the world of fake people. Not all celebrities are fake, but a lot of them are. A lot of them rather pretend they're happy than than to actually show you their true colors. So you keep thinking they're happy, and then they get divorced. All these celebrities always get divorced. Every few months, every few years, they get divorced or they break up. But every time they get into a new relationship, their fan base, it's like the fan base have some sort of what do you call it, amnesia. Every time they break up with one person, right, and they get into a new relationship, their fan base always says, "Oh, this is the perfect person that they're happier than everyone else. Else. This is a power couple. They've not entered a power. They're now into the perfect relationship." And then a few months later, a few years later, they break up. And after they break up, they start complaining about how these celebrities, after they break up, they start complaining about how miserable their lives were inside the relationship. How deceptive, how abusive, how manipulative, how cruel their partners were, right? But while they were in the relationship, all their fans were thinking these guys are living the perfect life. They are so happy. They are so happy. Stop deceiving yourself. Just because they post on social media, all the time, pretending to be happy, hugging each other, kissing each other, pretending to be happy does not mean they are. It's a scam. The world of celebrities is filled with scammers. It's filled with very deceptive people. Not every celebrity is a nice person. Not every celebrity is a good person. Some of them are very evil. And evil people love to deceive others into thinking their lives are perfect. That's all they do. Deceive and deceive. That's how they got to where they are right now. They got to where they are using deception. So why do you think when they get into a relationship, they won't continue trying to deceive you? The good ones will never deceive you. When they're unhappy, they'll tell you on social media that they're unhappy. When they're happy, they'll tell you on social media that, that they're happy. Or they'll never share anything about their lives. Good people rarely ever show off. They rarely ever show off. People who show off are usually not good people. Because people who show off like to they show off because they have the desire to show how better, they are than you. Prideful people are the ones who show off the most because they love to show you how worthless you are and how great they are. That's the mindset of people who show off. They like to show how worthless you are and how great they are, how great their life is and how worthless your life is. They're living a better life than you. That's the mindset of someone who shows off. It's telling you that he's prideful, that he is better than you. And someone who always have that mindset, the same mindset that Satan has, the mindset of pride, is not usually a kind person, but a very deceptive and evil person. And that's why you need to be careful. People who show off their relationship online are usually the evilest ones around. People who keep their relationship private are usually the kinder ones. Because what are you showing off? What's the point of showing off? What are you trying to prove? That you're better than everyone? That you're better than the people who are sad or who are depressed? That your life is better than everyone else's? Why are you trying to prove that your life is better than everyone else's? The only reason why you try to prove that your life is better than everyone else's is when you know that your life isn't. But you don't want everyone else to find out. You want people to believe that you're better than them. Because you want people to believe that you're better than them, you keep showing off endlessly to deceive others into thinking you're happy when you're not. And when the charades of lies backfire and you guys break up, that's when you start throwing the other, your relationship partner under the bus. That way people don't see you as the evil one. You don't want people to know that you're the evil one who pretended to like someone you didn't like. Just so you don't just so people don't think you're living in a miserable life, a miserable, relationship, or a miserable world. Just so people don't see that you're an evil person, that your life is miserable. You must always show off and let everybody know that your life is perfect. You live in a perfect world. You're living in a perfect life. Everything about you is perfect. But is it? Behind that perfection is always pure evil. People who always show off their relationships are usually people in the rockiest relationship in the world. The more they show off their relationship, the more they're trying to hide something from you. The more they show how perfect their relationship is, the more they try to hide something from you. They're trying to hide the fact that their relationship sucks. There are so many people who kill their wives, right? So many men who kill their wives. Before they kill their wives, they always love to show off how much they love their wives in public. That when they kill their wives, right? No one will ever think it's them. Because if they love their wives so much, there's no way they'll be the one who killed their wives, right? They're the kindest person in the world. When you see them on social media, they're always hugging their wives, looking as if they'll do anything for her. So, they're trying to deceive you into thinking, they're the most harmless person in the world. Yet behind that fake kindness is pure evil. Is a scheming devil that's looking for a way to kill his wife and get off with it. Get away with it. This is why you need to be careful of people who show off. There's a reason why they show off, and it's not a good reason. There's a reason why they pretend to be kinder than they actually are. There's a reason why they always like to show how perfect their relationship is on social media. It's because it's not, and they don't want anyone to find out. They don't want people to know that their relationship sucks, because they love to pretend they're better than everyone else. The moment that people find out that their relationship sucks, it proves they're not better than anyone else. And no one wants to, these evil people do not want to feel like they're equal to everyone. They love to show off. They love to be, to pretend they're better than everyone else around them. They love doing it. That's why they're evil. They're evil because they think they're better than you. They think they're better than you. Since they think they're better than you, what's the point in killing you? You're worthless trash after all, right? You're nothing but trash. Compared to them, you're nothing but trash. So if you anger them, if you irritate them, they can take your life without the slightest care in the world. And that's why they're evil. They will harm you without the slightest care in the world, because they think they're better than you, and they think you're worthless. Avoid evil people because they will never value you. They will never treat you as an equal. They will never see the value in your existence, in anyone's existence. And that's why they're evil. They always love to pretend they're better than everyone else when they're not. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I pray for everyone's safety and understanding. Amen.